What's up, speaker fam? I'm Melanie Summers, the CEO and founder of I Speak Organized, and today I'm excited to dive into a question that I get from a lot of coaching clients. I've helped hundreds of people over the last 3 years of this crazy journey as your go-to gal for all things pro-organizing business, and there's a question that comes up a lot, and so I figured it's time to just make a video about it to answer this question for the masses, and it is, what are your top 3 pieces of advice for anybody starting their professional organizing business? What can we do to be as successful as possible? It's a fair question. It's an important one to answer. So whether you're just starting out or you're looking to grow and scale and build a very successful and sustainable professional organizing business, I'm here to answer that question for you. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hello and welcome to I Speak Organized. Again, if you don't know me, I'm Melanie Summers. I'm a professional organizer, ADHD organizing specialist, and your go-to gal for all things pro-organizing business. I like to speak organized to give you the tools to conquer your clutter, live life with more purpose, and learn all about the business of tidying. Now, if you're new here and you have not subscribed to the channel yet, we have tons and tons and tons of free content all around starting and leveling up your business in the professional organizing industry. So I encourage you to take out your device and tap that subscribe button so that you become a member of the speaker fam. As you get value out of today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and tap the notification bell so you're notified when we post new content every single week. And if you want to get in on the down low, get some questions answered, and you want to just immerse yourself in a community of like-minded people who get what you're going through, join my free Facebook group. I'll make sure that that information is down in the description of the video and the podcast show notes. All right, so first and foremost, this is really important. I don't want to get too pontificating, but I do need to preface with this. Obviously, being a business owner, it's hard. It just is. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It's not for everybody. If you're used to, in the W-2 environment, going to work to make a paycheck and coming home and washing your hands of the workday, being a business owner is probably not for you, because your business is like a baby. It bleeds into all aspects of your life. You do, to a degree, have to eat, sleep, and breathe it. You really have to be passionate about it, and you have to be passionate about the business side of things, or know how and when and where to outsource and delegate those things that you don't want to do. And we're going to get into all of that in a second. But that's why the I Speak Organized community exists. It's why I started my coaching business, because I see so many people working for money and not running a business. There's a big difference between providing a service for money and running a legitimate, successful, scalable business. So I want to provide the right tools and training and resources and mentorship and community to help you succeed so that you can feel confident to charge prices that are going to get you dream clients that aren't going to nickel and dime you and are going to allow you that freedom and flexibility to do what you love to do in an industry that also helps and benefits those around you. It's really kind of a dream come true if you do it right. So in just a few minutes, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the ways in which I can specifically help you with that. But first, let's go ahead and get into these top 3 points. Okay, first and foremost, tip number 1, super important. Stop trying to do everything yourself. And I speak from an embarrassing amount of personal experience here with this. When I first started my business, just to be totally honest and transparent with you, I prided myself stubbornly on being able to do it all. You know, I built my own website and did all my own blogging and my own video editing and tried to teach myself SEO and all of these different things. Bookkeeping, I mean, you name it, I was trying to do it all. And it went beyond burning the candle at both ends. I was a freaking marshmallow, you guys, like roasting myself from 360 degrees of a fiery, overwhelming furnace, okay? And it obviously doesn't take very long to not be able to sustain that anymore. If you're only one person, we all have the same amount of hours in the day, something has got to give at some point. And I think many people can relate to that, and that's why they throw in the towel. And so I'm here to tell you that there's a better way. And obviously, there's a few different ways that you can go about relieving some of that pressure and stress and whatever mental gymnastics you put yourself through to convince yourself stubbornly that you need to do everything yourself. There's various different ways to get around that. And it's interesting interesting. One of the biggest things is community and knowing who to surround yourself with. And I was reminded of this the other day. There was somebody that posted in my Facebook group and several others the same question, basically asking if we had encountered naysayers and people around them that are just being negative and questioning, is professional organizing a real thing and who would pay for that and just stuff like that. And it was interesting to see all of the comments coming in, kind of echoing the same thing, that a lot of people just don't get it. And that's very common. And as I mentioned earlier, being a business owner is hard. It's not for everybody. People do not understand it. And so you need to be immersing yourself in a community of people that do understand it, that do value it, that are passionate and are successful. You really only have to be 10 steps ahead of somebody in order to be able to help them. And so as an organizer, if you're working with somebody who's a disorganized person, you just need to be 10 steps ahead of them to kind of teach them to come alongside you and build those skills. And the same thing goes for you as a potential newbie or somebody struggling in a certain aspect of your business, coming alongside people who are 10 steps ahead of you. So that's why we have the Facebook community. And that's why I have, again, my mentoring program, my coaching, and all of my coursework and things, because it's difficult and it's important to not try to force yourself to reinvent the wheel. Come alongside people who have already made the mistakes. I've made every mistake in the book that you could possibly imagine. And after a while, I started to realize that it was better to cut the check and take a shortcut and invest in myself, because that was how I was able to feel confident to convey my business in a way that people were willing to invest in me. So to say that more simply, if you want your clients to invest in you, you need to be willing to invest in yourself first. And once I started doing that and taking the shortcut and stop trying to do everything, like innovate and do it all differently and have this crazy different business name and model and all that, and started doing what is proven to work, what is a proven strategy that is learned from somebody who is 10 steps ahead of me, that's when my business started to make money. That's when I was able to start taking more free time, where I started really assessing what I was good at, what I enjoyed, and the things, more importantly, that I wasn't good at, that I didn't enjoy, that other people did better than I do, that would benefit my business if I just outsourced that stuff to them. So that's a big action step for you, is to sit down and determine what are the things that you do not like doing in your business, or that you're not good at, or that somebody else could do it better than you, and figure out how you can outsource that to somebody. For me, the first thing was bookkeeping. I outsourced to a professional bookkeeper, and the price was reasonable. I was able to afford it on my limited budget at the beginning of my business journey. And that was the first thing. And you can start thinking about it from a project-based perspective. So here's your second actionable tip. This is the most important one. Find yourself a mentor or a coach this week. Even if it's not me, there are plenty of people out there in the industry. Or if you need a coach in a specific area of your business, like you need help with social media or SEO, there's a specific issue that you have going on, find a mentor or somebody who knows a lot about what it is that you need help with and learn from them. If you're just starting out and you aren't sure that the business ownership aspect is right for you, but you love to organize, reach out to a professional organizer in your area and see if you can work with them. I hire people that contact me locally all the time. I love subcontracting other organizers because they're good at it and I don't have to babysit them. It's amazing. So find somebody like that you can work with and learn from and make a relationship with. And so that is my first piece of homework for you, is to find yourself a mentor or a coach this week. All right, fam, here's a little bonus tip for you. This is really important and often overlooked, so I wanted to throw it in here as well. It's the fact that the professional organizing industry is extremely physically demanding and mentally and emotionally demanding, because you're going to be lifting boxes and schlepping things from attic to basement, and you need to be able to be physically fit and strong to not get injured when you're on the job. Very important. And then also you're going to be stepping into people's messes, things that they don't even let their closest family members see in some cases. There's shame and guilt and vulnerability attached to that. And it's a privilege for us to step into it. But also it's very taxing to have all of that and absorb that throughout your regular workday. So it's nice to have a little something in your back pocket, in this case, literally, to help you maintain that sense of balance. So if you have never heard me talk about Magic Mind before, more, then I'm excited to share it with you. It's one of my go-to strategies for maintaining my calm and also making sure that I'm taking care of myself. That's one of the first things that goes by the wayside as a business owner too, is we always put ourselves last. And when I start to fall into that pattern of not taking care of myself, not getting enough sleep, and not getting the nutrients that I need, I pick up one of these guys. It's 2 ounces. So when I say literally fits in your back pocket, that's what I mean by that. It's the perfect and most efficient way to make sure that I am taking care of my emotional state. And so I'm in the middle of, actually towards the end of the Magic Mind Challenge that I've been doing for 14 days. And the reason why I did it for so long is because it's not really a quick fix. You do need to drink Magic Mind on a regular basis to see the benefits and effects of it. It has adaptogens and nootropics and functional mushroom compounds that support this sort of flow state, and it has L-theanine in it, things that help kind of give you that calm, alert feeling. So as most of you know, I don't drink caffeine. I haven't for several years. And so this is kind of my secret weapon to staying mentally alert and also more emotionally available for my clients. I'm able to kind of take care of myself in a small way. And this is 100% safe. It is vegan friendly because it's got agave in it and it tastes really good. And again, it's only 2 ounces a shot. I encourage you guys to check it out. Everything is organically sourced, all the matcha and everything in here. So go to magicmind.com/speakorganized and you'll get a chance for a sweet discount. You can get 20% off your first order if you want to give it a try, or if you want to go all in for a full-on subscription with that code SpeakOrganized20, you're going to get a full 48% off your subscription first payment. So pretty exciting, kind of a no-brainer, especially if you're looking for an easy way to take care of yourself while you take care of your clients. And I just want to give a huge thank you and shout out to our sponsors, Magic Mind, for sponsoring today's episode. Thanks, guys. All right, tip number 2 is to do your market research and establish your ideal target client demographic. That is kind of like a fancy, wordy way of saying figure out your niche. And this is something that everybody knows they need to do, and then we don't do it anyway. And I remember my first marketing campaigns when I started my business, again, like embarrassing. I was trying to appeal to everybody and I was trying to offer too many solutions to too many people. I was trying to be like pizza. Everybody likes pizza, but it doesn't work well for scaling your business. And this is something that I explain to coaching clients all the time. You want to be the specialist. You want to be the cardiologist. If somebody has a heart condition, they're not going to go to just a general practitioner. They want to go to somebody who specializes in the condition that they need help with. And so our clients are very much the same in that way. They need specific solutions to their specific problems. A hoarder is very different than a minimalist, obviously, but they both need a professional organizer, but they need one who specializes in a different type of organizing system and process, right? So do your target market research. Figure out who it is that you can best serve. What are your skills? Do you love decluttering? Or are you more of a micro-organizer and you love systems? The people that need decluttering and downsizing help, maybe they're moving. Maybe you want to specialize in move management, and those people aren't going to need systems because they're packing up their stuff and they're moving to, wherever. And so you're not even really going to be organizing their stuff. So it's important to think about primarily what types of clients you want to work with, any types of jobs that you want to do. Sometimes it's easier, like we talked about in tip 1, to figure out what it is that you don't want to do or what you don't like doing, and make sure that you tailor your services and your messaging to those things that you actually do want to do. What you'll find is that this will make your marketing, your messaging on your website, SEO, social media, like people are always like, what do I post on social media? What do I put on my website? If you take the time to come up with your ideal client avatar and write it down and learn the ins and outs of those people, do your research, your marketing will write itself. Your social media content will write itself. Coming up with that whole long list of SEO keywords that you're going to try to rank for on your website, which you absolutely should do because it's free marketing. Those things are going to be so much easier once you establish who you want to work with. Now, can it change over time? Absolutely. But start with something something. And even if you're only appealing to a specific group of people or a specific service that you want to offer, it doesn't mean that you can't help other people and that other people won't approach you. They absolutely will. And if you feel that they're in your wheelhouse and you can help them and bring a benefit to their life and your business, great. Help them out. That's awesome. And the bottom line is you don't want to end up like me in the beginning stages where I spent so much time recording videos and talking about what I wanted to talk about and selling the services that I wanted to serve and being a people pleaser trying to appeal to too many people. And then, especially with my first online course, if anybody remembers the Better Habits in 30 Days course that I did, it's still live. People can take it and I get some like surprise random sales every once in a while, but I spent so much time and energy on that and I made very little money. And that is when I realized that I needed to do things backwards. I needed to interview clients. I needed to ask questions in Facebook groups. I needed to see what people were saying. I needed to talk to my clients. I needed to talk to my friends and see what it is that they really truly were struggling with. And then I needed to sort of align my services with what they needed. So I had to put my own desires to a degree aside, but also more so just sort of tweak what I was offering and tweak the way that I talked about what I was offering so that it appealed to what people actually need help with. And that's so huge. Once you nail that, you're going to be golden and everything will kind of just fall into place. So that is piece of advice number 2. Here's my homework for you for your quick win actionable homework. I want you to write a 1-page client persona describing in detail the type of client that you ideally would like to work with. How old are they? What color hair do they have? What car do they drive? What kind of wine do they drink? If they don't drink wine, how many kids do they have? Do they not have kids? Do they have cats, dogs? All the things. Describe them so that you can relate to them. Take all those pieces, extrapolate them, and put content out on social media that makes you more relatable to those people and put that on your website and things like that. There's all different types of little nuggets that you can throw out there that makes that person grab onto that and say, hey, that's me. I recognize that. And then they're going to want to work with you. So go and do that. Okay, pop quiz time. How would you feel 6 months from now if you were sitting in this same spot and you owned your own professional organizing business that was booked out with clients that you actually really like to work with every single day? How would you feel in that moment? I imagine that you'd feel pretty good, but we're sitting here today and there might be something holding you back. It could be that little doubt whispering to you, who am I to do this? And I'm here to tell you right now that I have been there, we've all been there, and it is not only possible to overcome those fears, but it is essential because there are people out there right now who need someone exactly like you. Remember, I am here in your corner to help you with this process. My brand new mini course, From Overlooked to Overbooked. It's all about finding and attracting the right clients for your business to book your calendar solid with proven strategies. No more reinventing the wheel. I'm going to show you how to set up and optimize your website and boost your visibility with SEO strategies that actually work, that I use in my own business and many of my clients do as well. I'm going to show you how to promote your business so that you don't feel like a sleazy used car salesman from the 1980s. And I'm going to show you marketing strategies and materials that you definitely haven't come across. They are specific to our industry. And I'm going to show you how to network effectively, who to talk to. I'm going to give you scripts and I'm going to give you templates, all the things that you need to feel confident stepping into your business owner's shoes and rocking it to build a successful organizing business. And lastly, I want to invite you, if you're ready for more tools and you want to get paying clients in the door faster, to go pick up my Pro Organizer Forms Pack, which has 9 done for you forms in a free Canva account that are 100% customizable templates. You get access to all the essential forms that you need to onboard your clients and run your business professionally. You get the client agreement, health and safety waiver, credit card authorization form, and so many other forms that you will need to run your business. You start with the starter pack or the premium pack. You have 2 options to choose from. And again, that information is linked down below. As a thank you for being an amazing member of my speaker fam, you're going to get $8 off both my Overbooked course and my Pro Organizer Forms Pack using the code YTPRO8 at checkout. So that's it. No more waiting. It is time to step up and make your dreams a reality because your future as a sought-after professional organizer is just one decision away. Tip number 3, very important, is to get your pricing right. And this is so hard And I'm going to backpedal just a little bit to say that there's not necessarily a right or wrong way to do it. There's various different pricing strategies out there that you can use to run a successful business, but there are some best practices for our industry, especially. So I want to share just a 30,000 foot bird's eye view because we could literally talk about this for hours. And if you really want to get nitty gritty, schedule a coaching call and I will help you with this. Anyway, so pricing strategy is very important. And just to give you some backstory, when I first started my business, I was using what I now refer to as the software pricing model. And that is where the higher package plan you book, you get a little bit of a discount off. And so the way that a lot of software companies will do that is if you choose to buy annually versus pay monthly, you get a discount. But the thing that works for them is that the software is already built. All they have to do is just like flip the switches on different levels of access that you get to something that has been built and is running. Whereas for us in the organizing industry, if we're going to be offering more of our time for less money, that sucks. And I took a pricing course. I worked with a coach on revamping my entire pricing structure. And that was the first thing she pointed out. Why do you want to work more hours for less money? It's different. It's not like flipping on a switch to give access to a system that already exists. We have to put in the blood, sweat, and tears to make the extra labor, but we're making less money for that. So that doesn't make any sense. So the way that I have restructured it is what I now refer to as the spa package model. Like if you're going to get a facial, you can pay for the basic facial, but if you want the lavender foot soak and you want like the organic like mud mask or whatever, all of those things are called add-ons and you're paying for those. And so that is the way that I run my package pricing now. There's a lot to it, more than that. So overall, what I suggest that you do is that you do your research in your area, see what other organizers are charging, if at all possible. The easiest way to do that is to go to like an Angie's List or a Thumbtack where people have to be a little more transparent about their pricing. You can kind of see most organizers countrywide in the United States charge somewhere between, I think statistically, it's like $50 and $150 an hour. So you're going to have to figure out what it's going to be in your area and price competitively. And you also need to be very clear with your financial goals, your personal financial goals. When I audit somebody's pricing, when I sit down and audit a pricing with a client every single time without fail, and this is totally not a dig on anybody, it's just the truth. Nobody that I've worked with thus far in my coaching career in the last 3 years has sat down and figured out what their personal financial goals are and how their business, the money that they want to make in their business, weaves into their personal finances. They have not figured out like how much money they personally need to make in order to achieve certain goals. They haven't necessarily set goals for the financial piece of it. They're just, like, I want to start a business. I love organizing and we're going to do it, and that's fine. But again, my goal is to make sure that you are running a sustainable business, not providing a service for money. Again, I'm going to beat that drum all day and night because there is a big difference. And it's disheartening to see so many amazing people come into this industry with so much passion and just amazing skill and then quit, 6 months later because they didn't do the planning part. So set clear financial goals for yourself. How much money do you need to make each year? How much money do you want your business to make to be able to give you that freedom and flexibility that you're craving to be able to do what you want? And so if you want to figure out what that is, come and do a pricing audit with me and I will tell you exactly what your hourly rate should be and how much your business is going to need to make. And we can talk about all the different financial buckets and all that nonsense and just untangle all those knots because you don't know what you don't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. And again, that comes back to working with somebody who has the strategy that is doing what is proven to work and learning from them and taking that ball and running with it. That is so important. So your actionable tip for my piece of advice number 3 is to review your current pricing structure, compare it with industry standard, and then try to adjust your rates to reflect. And if you really if you're cross-eyed over this information, it feels overwhelming, get on a coaching call, get it figured out, and figure out what your best price will be. Simple as that. All right, to recap my top 3 pieces of advice and your homework for each one. Number 1, stop trying to do everything yourself. Do not be like Marshmallow Melanie and roast yourself from the outside in. Find yourself a mentor and figure out what it is that you need to outsource or delegate. Figure all that stuff out and stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Use proven processes from people that have been in your shoes and understand exactly what you're going through and what you're struggling with to cut the check, to take the shortcut. Invest in yourself so your clients see fit to invest in your services, okay? Number 1. Number 2, figure out your target demographic and establish a niche. Your homework for this is to create your one-page client persona where you describe your ideal client. And that way your marketing writes itself. Your messaging for your website writes itself. Your SEO writes itself. It's super easy and makes your life a lot easier so that you're not spinning yourself in circles. Number 3 is to get your pricing right. If you're going to go hourly, figure out how much money you need to make to balance your personal and business finances and make that a sustainable way to grow and give you that freedom and flexibility. Make sure you know what your goals are for your finances so that you can make your hourly rate reflect meeting those goals. It's really important, and it's a step that a lot of people skip. If you're going to do package pricing, do your research, get on a coaching call, join a program, figure out how to do that effectively so that you can run a business. Because remember, my goal, and I really want this to be the goal for everyone in my community, is to stop providing a service for money and build a sustainable business. Big difference. I'm going to beat that drum over and over again because I want you to be successful. I don't want to see you start this journey and, like so many others, burn out in 6 months and give up on it. Okay. If you just are willing to invest in yourself and the right tools and training, you will absolutely smash this, okay? So make sure that you go through and kind of reevaluate your pricing structure. That's your homework for number 3. And see if you need to adjust your rates. Stop charging the rock bottom rates because you're not going to be able to sustain that, okay? So, and it devalues your work and it devalues the industry. So make sure that you are valuing yourself and the work that you do. Raise your rate and try to implement some package pricing. Okay, so those are my 3 pieces of advice. That's it. I hope you guys got tons of value out of today's little powwow with me. It's very few and far between these days that I get to just like sit and chat and hang out with just you without having a guest on the show. So that's always kind of fun. And this was an opportunity for me to answer a question that I get a lot. So I'm really happy to do it. And if you need more help, if this feels really overwhelming, I want you to go to ispeakorganized.com/courses and take advantage of some of the resources that I have there. They are top quality. My students get really good results. And most importantly, they have somebody in their corner who actually really cares about your success. I truly do. I really do care that you do well and thrive in this industry. It's important for you to have that wonderful work-life balance and that freedom that you've been looking for to do something that you love. But it's also really important for everybody in our community. There are a lot of people out there in our communities that need help with this kind of stuff. It's a big deal. So my goal really is for you to be successful. So go to ispeakorganized.com/courses, get on a one-on-one coaching call with me before my slots fill up. Take the overbooked course if you're struggling with getting your clients, if you want to book your calendar out and be busy and kind of transition into doing this full time, take that course. It'll really help you with all of the different strategies that you need there. And check out everything else. I've got tons of resources, forms, packs, all kinds of stuff. If you have questions, pop them down in the comments below. I'm happy to help you, and join that free Facebook group. And of course, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you again to our sponsors, Magic Mind, for sponsoring today's episode. And make sure that you go down to the description of the YouTube video on the podcast show notes to check out magicmind.com/speakorganized, where you can use the code SpeakOrganized20 to get 20% off your first order or 48% off your first purchase within your subscription to Magic Mind. Thanks again, guys, for sponsoring today's episode. And beyond that, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.